that we've completed all the open session except for calendars. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Sure.
LAFCO tomorrow. And then Thursday, looks like I have a clerk and PG&E carbonizer discussion that's going to be happening. At the RRA meeting yesterday in the city of Clear Lake. Thought that's, was a good meeting. We're continuing to move forward with some of the conversations we're having, whether it's biomass, other opportunities with the RRA. Also attended, like I said, this weekend, the Lower Lake Action Committee group fundraiser. I thought it was a really good event. Saw Supervisor Tues Mtg there, and man, the house was packed. So that was a good place for the Chipino dinner. Thursday, Friday, have a call with CAO Susan Parker. And then also wanted to report on the Workforce Alliance in North Bay. I had that meeting last week on Friday here in the courthouse, and continuing to move forward with, the JPA members and, continually moving things. There are a couple of projects here in Lake County. There's going to be a nurses recruitment and talking about that in April. I think it's April 18th. I could have the wrong date, but I'll make sure to get that out. It's going to be at Robinson, talking about recruiting the workforce, here at local rural communities to get that nursing positions filled throughout the county and in the public. So, interesting that we're doing that. Also, in Lake County also approved submitting a grant for $6 million in workforce in coordination with Terra, the work group being done here, something that's been talked about for a couple of years, but we approved that also at the Workforce Alliance in North Bay. So back here on Tuesday for the meeting. And that's it. That's all I have.
Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry. And a meeting to look at a piece of property in the Middletown proper area right downtown. So going to meet with Sutter Hospital, have a conversation. Don't know where that goes, but wanted to report that too.
Awesome. Supervisor Green?
Yeah, thank you. You already mentioned this at the start of the meeting, but the swearing-in ceremony Friday, Sheriff Howe, Under Sheriff Bingham, and just seeing all those new deputies coming online, it was really, I know it's important to them, but I think it was important to us as supervisors, just seeing such a hopeful, uplifting ceremony and understanding how significant it is to finally have a lot of new hires in our department. That just really spoke to me quite a bit. I also want to thank everyone, including Supervisor Crandall. We had our last Community Visioning Forum Planning Committee meeting last night, and that's been kind of a multi-year arc. It's been a privilege to serve on that, and I know the report will be coming to this body hopefully in May, and so thanks to everyone who participated in that. I have a note about an IFT only. I don't know if there's an EMCC meeting attached to that, but Supervisor Sabatier, I'll check with you on that. Looks like a Blue Ribbon Committee for the Rehabilitation of Clear Lake will be meeting at 10 a.m. at Lakeport City Hall on Thursday, so I'll be attending that. Friday, I'll be meeting with Director Arton from Health Services for a little orientation. If I'm feeling really frisky on Saturday, there's a bingo fundraiser for Lakeport Senior Center from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So it'll be a big old bingo event. And then I don't have an agenda yet, but it looks like Monday, Scotts Valley Community Advisory Council. We should be meeting at the Women's Clubhouse at 5 p.m. And that's what I have.
Thank you very much. Supervisor Pyska?
Tomorrow I'm meeting the constituent in Kelseyville and getting caught up on a few things. Then Thursday I have the home hardening assessment training starting at 9 a.m. in Kelseyville Riviera. Then the clerk meeting. Then the meeting with the CNRA and the meeting with the our public health director, and then Cauberry Council. Friday, opioid settlement work group. And then Monday, my meeting with CAO Parker.
Vice Chair Crandall?
Yes, so I had, of course, that meeting last night as well with the visioning group, and as Supervisor Green said, we'll be bringing those recommendations forward. Won't go too further into it. He pretty much summarized it. Met with the public health director as well on Monday. Of course, over the weekend, we had the Vision of Hope Village that was in Nice. That was a really well-attended event, and it went well. There was also an event at Big Valley for suicide awareness, and it was good to see a lot of representation from people all around the lake, including even some of our county positions as well. So behavioral health and social services and, probation, they were all in attendance on a weekend as well. So just highlighting that, they're getting it done, So the pancake breakfast for the Tango Mike put on this Saturday was a hit as well. And I went there in the morning and touched base with everybody and sat with some veterans. Friday, of course, attended the swearing in as well, and it was great to see all of the officers swear in, even the other officers that were in the room that were just there. Sheriff Howe made them all come up and swear in. Just really good to see the work come to fruition, everything we've talked about trying to do to get them the resources they need so we can get them, functioning the way they know best and giving them the tools they need. I just really feel like the families there were it was just really, it's a blessing to see that, lots of family members, people having their babies, while they swear in, things like that, just, it was just great. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of that since the military. I know there's been a couple other ones, but this one was really special. Let's see. I'll go back to my RCRC meeting. The Secretary for California State Transportation Agency, Tokes Omashikan, I think that's how I pronounce it. He was there giving a presentation talking about his efforts to ensure rural communities thrive and to maximize funding to help our rural counties. And there were, I want to say, at least 15 to 20 questions. They were only able to get to 10. So I did what I could to get out in the hallway and talk to him. And so I caught him right before he got in the elevator and let him know that, we've had quite a bit of, because that was one of the biggest topics of discussion was safety when it came to highways and transportation and whatnot. And I let him know in our communities, we've had quite a bit of deaths, accidents, all sorts of, just concern about people on the side of the highway, safety measures. I know that and explained how the Caltrans and collaboration with CHP had put together a grant to get the rapid rectangular flashing beacons on Highway 20 and among other spots to help. But I also emphasized Highway 20 would probably need a little more than that when it comes to these measures, because a lot of the people, despite the South County, they're making those measures to send more traffic around that way. There's still people that come through that side, and it would be ideal to look at the high-intensity activated crosswalks. And it was pretty open to hearing that, but what was even more impressive was his secretary was knew Highway 20 and mentioned Nice Frosty and says, I think you guys do need that. Your county does need that type of service around the lake because you have a lot of crosswalks that cross the lake. So made a connection there and emailed and hopefully keep pushing that. But I do know at least at the minimum we are getting the rapid rectangular flashing beacons because of the grant with CHP. I just was like, I think each town needs a hawk as well, because that stops traffic and gives more safety to it. But yeah, no, it was just an opportunity, and it took that. That was the RCRC meeting. Everything else basically was kind of some of the things we talked about with the bills and whatnot. Some of it was brought up there. There was other cannabis measures I seen too that I'll send to you. Let's see. We have tomorrow agenda review West Region Town Hall in Upper Lake at 5:30. Thursday, Blue Ribbon Committee. Then if I can fit in the EPA Farm, Ranch, and Rural Communities Ad Hoc Committee. I think I have a meeting here at the office with County Council. Tango Mike will be in the evening. That's where we'll be presenting the proclamation that we passed last week for them for their 21 years. So we'll go there and read that off and send all of those to the soldiers that are deployed. So each one will get one in their packages. Let's see, Monday we'll have the CEAO meeting, and then I think there's something else that just got sent, but I don't know. I'll have to check. But back here Tuesday for the Board of Supervisors meeting.
Thank you very much. Tomorrow, I start and promise to make it to the agenda review. That was a very bad last week, Wednesday. I apologize for that. Continue in Lakeport with LAFCO. Do we have AVA?
No, I was checking on that.
Okay. And so, which is actually perfect because I think our LAFCO agenda should be short enough that I'll be able to make it back to Clear Lake to meet with the faith leadership group that we are trying to figure out how this group can work with the COC in providing services, whatever they are offering, whether that's worship services, whether that's food services, whether that's lodging services, whatever they have available, we want to better understand how we can work together to provide to those in need. Also, we'll be meeting with Greg Dameron for the food policy to better prepare for our Friday meeting. Have IFT. It does only say IFT. I don't see MCC, even though it has EMCC bylaws being reviewed. So maybe we need to reach out to Rainey and kind of check in to see if it's just mistitled. I'll check. We'll talk. I have a meeting at the law library later on that afternoon. Then I'll be meeting with Matthew Rothstein and with Supervisor Peiska. Then I have a strategic plan meeting for the Lake County Continuum of Care, end up over in the city of Clear Lake for the city council meeting to keep track of what they're working on. I'll be also here on Friday for the opioid abatement settlement. And then once that's over with, I'll be joining an ad hoc committee from the Food Policy Council as we finalize our strategic plan before our next meeting. And then nothing over the weekend at this moment. I am meeting with the sheriff-elect on Monday morning. I don't know if we finalized the roadmap task force meeting, Vice Chair Crandall. I do show it here on our calendar. And we'll see what happens, and then meeting with our CAO to be prepared for a meeting on the 26th. We'll say that the swearing-in ceremony, similar to Vice Chair Crandall, been to a couple in the past. This one was definitely a jam-packed room. I don't know if it was the timeline of the amount of time in between swearing-in ceremonies, but it made for a much more intimate and personal swearing-in ceremony that I thought was great. Shout out to two young fellows from Clear Lake, Deputy Smart and Deputy Jameson. Seeing them definitely put a smile on my face as we see our locals climbing up into those positions, not only leaving town to be able to join the force, but then coming back and serving their communities, obviously taking their adult responsibilities in their community very seriously, and I appreciate that. The Chipino feed, I think I'm still full from that. It was great, and from what I understand and checking in on Sunday, they made quite a good revenue from that, and we'll see that in all of their festivities and activities that they do in Lower Lake, which I appreciate. So happy to support that, and thankful to see you there as well. All right, that's it. That's all that I have.